We are live. Welcome to the Worst Golf Podcast. Everybody wants to be the best. We strive to be the worst. When a bad take is necessary, we're going to be here to share it with you. I'm your host, JB, and with me is Morgan. She'll spend most of her time off camera, yet she's here to keep me in line with all the buttons. Before we get started, this is being simulcast on YouTube, on Facebook, and website and forum, all 4 places.
That's a lot.
Wherever you are, subscribe, like the video. It's important to us. We had a contest last week. Just so you guys know, the Champions Tour hasn't played yet, so we don't have a driver count yet, but we will soon. But make sure you subscribe, hit the little bell. It helps us more than you know. If you haven't left a review on Apple Podcasts or Google Play, that matters a lot, way more than people think.
Yes.
So if you hit up the audio at any point in time or subscribe to our audio, make sure you leave a review there. We got a big week this week.
Yeah, I totally butchered that, by the way.
That's okay.
I thought
They don't know you butchered it. You
No,
could have
I
played it off
know.
perfectly.
I totally butchered it, though, because he started going off on a tangent, and I thought, all right, so we're not going to go with the usual, script. So I switched to the other camera view, and then he just started going back, and I was like, oh, crap, what do we do?
You don't have to say he, I'm
He,
right here.
You. He.
We have a jam-packed show today,
Yes.
and we're going to try to get through everything.
Yes.
But we're going to kick it off with the Masters. And we've always said we weren't going to talk a lot of tour golf here. We weren't going to talk PGA Tour versus Live. But it was first of all, it was a pretty weird Masters, but it was great that the Masters was back.
Yeah. We said it the whole time I was watching, and I was like, it's the Masters.
Yeah.
So, I'm enjoying it because it's the Masters. But the weather...
And we watched every shot shown.
Yeah, because whether it was on our computers watching it when we were working, or we were on the couch watching it, or whatever, we were always watching it.
Yeah.
Even when we were beaming it from a tablet to the TV to watch it, we were always watching it. But the weather was unfortunate, and so there wasn't that dynamic, there wasn't shot for shot who's gonna win kind of thing. It just, I don't know, it happened at the end a little bit, but I felt like it wasn't the same. I don't know.
And the weather draw made it really interesting because you had guys who made incredible runs. Spieth and Phil Sunday were incredible, but
yes.
They were too far behind. But Jon Rahm played so good, he didn't give anything up back. If Jon Rahm wasn't there and it's Brooks in the lead solely, he's coming back to the pack, and all of a sudden we got a back nine Sunday we usually do.
It's a completely different Masters then.
The other thing is, I get it. It's the bullshit golf Twitter media that need the clicks. They tried to make this so much about Live versus PGA Tour.
So much.
And if there's one event to me that's above that, it's this one.
Right.
The players didn't want to talk about it. They tried to avoid the questions. They took the high road almost every time.
I was going to say, I think they actually did a really good job with their interviews of kind of just skirting around it.
And every question was the same thing.
Yep.
So that part to me, it got old quickly. The Live guys represented well. They know the course well. Obviously, they're former winners in most cases. And there were some PGA Tour guys that didn't do as well as expected, the Rorys of the world.
Yeah.
Justin Thomas. But it was nice to have it back again. And it was kind of it means golf season is here.
Yeah. And even Tiger, even though he didn't get to finish, it was still nice to see him there,
We are doing this show on a Tuesday.
Yep.
And obviously live for people who aren't. Yeah, it's been a long day.
I was like,
long day later.
I was waiting to see if you were going to try to get yourself out of that. And I was like, nah, I'm just going to call it right now.
Easy for me to say. But, we're doing this on a Tuesday. And for people who are listening to the audio, you'll get to know why coming up here. But Morgan is leaving tomorrow morning at 4 a.m. for a 50th anniversary Cobra trip.
Yeah.
And they haven't put out a ton on the 50th anniversary yet, but I feel okay saying it because A, it's 50 years, but B, they had it up at the PGA show and everything. There were big signs for it.
Yeah.
But they're having a big media party.
Yes.
And it's an employee party. They're inviting select media. You and our forum leader, Jeremy, JD Talks, are going out there for that. And I'm sad I'm missing this one because it's a big deal to me. Growing up, Cobra was the first set of clubs. I bought myself the first driver.
The first driver I ever hit was a Cobra.
Yeah. King Cobra titanium offset was the first driver, real driver I ever bought myself. And I was pretty excited about that. Actually, I take that back. The Judge was the first one, but this was second by Founders Club. And I've played a lot of Cobra clubs over the years. I have the Morgan Cup coming up this year where I'll play a full bag of Cobra clubs. but I'm pretty excited about this. But since we can't give people the details on what's happening,
No.
you can kind of walk people through the itinerary.
Yeah, I can. But do you remember when I was getting golf lessons in West Chase? And there's an older lady, and she let me use her Cobra driver. And that was the first time I had hit a driver when it was like that ladies' clinic.
Yeah,
and it
I
had
remember
that like
that.
tin baseball bat
Yeah.
sound.
L4V.
If
I'm a betting person, I'm going to say it was the Cobra L4V.
I don't remember what it was, but that was the first driver I ever hit. Anyhow, so yeah. Jeremy and I are going to be going to Carlsbad. And like I said, I can't give full details, but we are leaving at the crack of dawn tomorrow. Like literally my alarm is set for 3:45 a.m. And then we have a awesome dinner scheduled with everybody tomorrow night. And then there will be a round of golf on Thursday. I'm not playing. I'm just going to ride around. And then a huge celebration Thursday night, which we will take tons of pictures and I'll send them to you so you can get them up onto social, and I'll try to post them on the forum for everybody.
Yeah, we will have a live
yes.
thread with everything for everybody,
Yes.
for Jeremy and
exactly.
Morgan.
And it should just be a really good time. And I like that it's kind of going to be slightly more intimate. With being,
I think 100 people total, and that includes all the employees.
Yeah, so we're pretty excited about it. So it should be a really good time. And yeah, that's really all I can say. I want to say more, but
there's
I'm
some
not.
exciting stuff coming from this. You
I'm
guys
not
are going
allowed
to
to say
find
anymore,
that out
so-
on Thursday.
Yeah.
But the reason I can't go is I have Shaft Up.
Yeah, you leave Saturday or Sunday.
Sunday morning for Shaft Up, which kicks off Monday. And I kind of wanted to go through what the Shaft Up is, the series is. So we do 3 events, and I've talked about it a little bit before.
Whoops. I pushed a button.
Wow, that was fun.
Sorry, guys. That was me.
We've talked about Shaft Up before, and it's a series of 3 events we do with US Team EMEA. And it's a fitting event. It's a shaft knowledge event, and they're all done at incredible golf courses. This one happens to be at Briggs Ranch. It's the first of the 3 of the year. And the way it works is we have a contest, 2 people, 2 forum members each time. It's not the same 2 go to all 3. Win a trip, and they get flown out. They get fit by Danny Lee at US Team EMEA and myself.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous when you think about it.
I know. It's, we do a lot of crazy things, but this is like when you add in where it's being played, we're talking about a $10,000 package for a person.
Absolutely.
$5,000 to $10,000 a package. It's pretty insane, and we're excited to do this one. This one's doing paradigm fitting, and they'll have all 3 heads, lofts. We'll get them fit into a premium US Team EMEA shaft by Danny, and they will immediately put them in play.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have a contest coming up. I'm thinking Thursday, maybe Friday. And you'll pick, myself and Danny will be playing against Greg Kolbick and Aggressive. The 2 lucky winners from Shaft Up #1 who are going to be out there. We're going to be taking them on in a shamble format. They'll get some strokes out of us, but we're going to have some fun with it, and you're going to be able to predict who wins. And if you do predict right, you're going to win an awesome prize.
For those who are watching, it's not black anymore, right? You can see now. Just want to make sure.
Yeah, that's kind of important.
Well, I know. That's why I was, I think so. I think we're good.
Yeah.
All right.
I see Jaziel just made a reference of the Ass Man sign. I made mention of it last week. That's from Chris Vachal. It's a Seinfeld reference from Cosmo Kramer.
Yes.
But yeah. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
But yeah, so Shaft Up is going to kick off. We have an awesome contest. Please enter. Please make a prediction. If you're smart, you'll pick against Danny and I. They always pick Danny and I, and we lose like 3/4 of the time. But
I can say you've been working on your swing.
Well, I mean, I got lessons. I haven't exactly been working.
I didn't say that it was getting better. I just said that you were working on it.
Yeah. So she's making reference to the fact that I've received a couple lessons, and I've kind of talked about this in the past.
Yeah, you were having some struggles.
Yeah, and I decided to go through and get some lessons, but doing so with no practice. I haven't been to a driving range once.
No.
No,
which is a good thing we have the tech studio now.
Yeah. So I decided yesterday to send a video to said instructor. And at first he sent me a message and he said, "How's it going?" And I said, "Fucking terrible." And he said, "What?" "Oh, sorry.
It's the only word.
It's okay.
Okay.
They'll get over it."
Yeah.
And he said, "Send me a video with it facing you, the camera."
Right.
And so he can see the motion of the swing. And his response was, "Is this a joke?" Like, were you even paying attention?
Oh.
So he has me back at square one, and we'll see where it goes. But so far, excuse me, it's not good. We got some THPR questions, and we're going to try to get through a few of those this show.
Sure.
The first one was interesting because we've addressed it before, but then we kind of keep knocking them off.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, what course that hasn't held a THP event would be a good one, and would you like to host one at? And the only one that was out there that I was really like, I really want to do one, was TPC Sawgrass. And it was because I wanted the live stream from the 17th hole.
Right. Which I still can't believe worked.
Yeah, I can't either, especially with the wind.
Yeah.
If you haven't watched that, we have the video up on this channel on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, that shows the two groups going through with Chris Vachal and Walker from Mizuno. Didn't go well for the I'll call them the hitters.
Oh, poor Chris. That was no good.
It was something that, you know, I kind of wanted to do. And I'll be honest, like for the participants, they had a great time.
Yeah.
The food was spectacular. We didn't really have to leave property, but I still go back to the same thing that, and maybe I don't want to say enigma, but that kind of fits for what I'm saying, is I look for things differently than a golfer does.
Right.
Bucket list course, sure. Conditions, sure. But I want our participants, when they go there, to feel important.
Yeah.
And TPC Sawgrass is a tee time factory. It is a beautiful golf course, a famous golf course, probably the most iconic hole in all of golf.
A tour stop.
Yeah. But it's a tee time factory.
Yeah.
You are a number, you go there, you play, and it's what everything else that happens that makes it special. And fortunately, we had Mizuno with us. I'm like shivering. That fan is freezing.
I think it feels good.
We had Chris Vachal and Walker there to walk people through product and really do a deep dive and, you know, kind of nerd out about it. And that was important to me. But planning it was arguably the worst planning, dealing with it I've ever seen, to the point where they gave us the name of the room we were holding our first dinner at. Chris, Walker, and myself went to said room in the hotel. It was locked, and we had to call an audible because they told us we were eating at the hotel, when in actuality they reserved a private boardroom for us at the course. Again, it's kind of a behind the curtain look, because the participants came, and there's some of them who were following here. I saw Debo in the chat, and a few others. They had a great time, and the room was amazing. The food was delicious. Everything was great. But there was a level of, okay, you're here, finish and get out.
Right.
To it.
Yeah. Fun fact, the restaurant for the first night, they're moving to the beach.
That was the restaurant for the second
night. They're moving to the beach.
They are leaving that area.
Yeah.
Interesting. That was a fantastic spot.
Yeah, it was.
I'm going to give a shout out to a 4 member's wife.
Yes.
M. Maynard's wife is the person who found that. And Kristen, thank you, because that was fantastic. It was just awesome. And it turned out to be a great event. But going back to the story, because I'm getting long-winded here, I tend to do
just
that
a little bit.
It's a place that was on the list, but to me, it wasn't what it could have been.
Right. Yeah.
So I look for things a little differently. And the first time I went to Ballyhack, it was that experience. So much so that we joined the Dormi Network and have gone poor because of it. But
that's for the rant later.
Oh yeah. So that is part of the rant later.
That is part of the rant later. Yeah.
So the course that hasn't held a THP event that I'm excited to do it at is Hidden Creek. And we are doing one there later this year. We're doing a shaft up there. The facility is amazing. The golf course is amazing. And
for those who don't know, where is it located?
It's in New Jersey.
Okay.
Which is weird because you can fly into Atlantic City, but that's a tough flight. Most people will actually fly into Philly and drive to it, which is pretty far. You wouldn't fly into Newark.
That was my next question.
Newark's much further away. So pretty excited about doing one there. The level of service there is unbelievable.
Really?
Yeah. And I'm really excited. We've hosted one event so far this year, and that was at Briggs Ranch, and that set the bar really high. I'm going back to Briggs Ranch, ironically enough, next week.
You're already talking about the tacos.
I am.
He's been talking about the tacos.
For those that follow our live update threads, different courses have different food themes, but this one has a beverage cart. When you finish the 9th hole, it's like sitting there waiting for you. but it's also a taco truck. And they're making fresh tacos on the spot. What meat do you want? What do you want on it? Everything else right then and there out of the taco truck.
That's amazing.
You get that and you go to the back nine, and the back nine is light years better than the front nine. The front nine's great, but the back nine is special.
I don't think we talked about that.
We probably did.
Yeah.
But Briggs Ranch is freaking awesome, and I'm excited. But to answer the question, I kind of got off on a tangent.
You did. You answered it. You said that it was
Hidden Creek is the answer, and we're going to do that. Someone asked about this in the chat.
Yes.
This is the Flask app. It's something we talked about last week. Tell me you didn't watch the show last week without telling me you didn't watch the show last week. This is the Flask app. This is the Matic or Matic. No idea how to say it.
I don't know.
We have a coupon on THP. It's for people who want to drop a little mixer in their beverage or a little beverage in their mixer.
Or a little lemon juice in their water.
Yes.
Or Mio in their water.
Exactly. This is the tumbler with the top. It does fit on a lot of tops, but they have a list. Make sure you check that list.
It was basically everything but Arctic, right?
Yeah, but one of the THPers who picked one up said he tried it on a couple of them, the smaller brands, and they didn't fit, but he had one that did. So make sure you check that out. But it is freaking awesome. And we have a coupon on the website. So the irony of me getting a text right now during the show from Keenan talking about the Project X experience that I'm going to address on next week's show is pretty interesting, but we'll go through that next week. I don't want to get ahead of myself. You have a little bit of a rant before I get to my rant later.
I do.
And I'm going to let you do one.
I have a lot of them, but I'm going to start with
Excuse me, folks.
Yeah. This is the worst cough you've had today.
Yeah.
In like a couple weeks, really. Okay, so here's my rant. Well, for one, I'm going to be 40 in July.
Oh, you're so young.
Everything is broken. Everything hurts. I'm really over this already. I'm not happy. That's not even really my rant. That was just me wanting sympathy. So I had to get put on medication for something. Not a big deal. Except I can't stop eating. Like I literally can't get full. It doesn't matter how much I eat. It doesn't matter how healthy I eat. It doesn't matter how macro balanced I eat. I literally can't get full. And I am going crazy about it. It's driving me nuts. I don't know what to do. And then I just sit there and keep drinking water, but I'm starving. So this is my rant and I'm working on it.
Your rants are much kinder than mine.
Well, yeah. Yeah. They're actually kind of selfish because they're about me. If you think about it. Like both of my rants are kind of selfish rants when you think about it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You're going to get no sympathy from our audience because you're really young.
Well, no, but let's be honest. Have you ever seen me eat this much food ever in the 15 years that we've been together?
No, she's hoovering meals like it's your job.
It's not good, you guys. It's not good.
I'm impressed.
Yeah, no, I am like, no, I'm baggy clothes because the pounds are coming on. I got to figure something out. I don't like it. Anyway, that's my rant. I'm just not happy.
I'm going to take a sip.
I'm happy.
And then
I'm just not happy about that.
We introduced a deal of the month earlier this month.
Yeah, it's a good deal too.
Yeah, and I just wanted to remind people it's still up there. Puma Matter shirts for $29.
Yeah.
I know THPers are jumping on it. Again, I want to be clear. This is not an affiliate program.
No.
We are not paid a percentage.
Nope.
We just want to tell you that it's that good of a deal. The shirts are awesome.
Yes.
Great quality, really durable. And if you play in any sort of heat or humidity, it's one of the best shirts you'll ever own.
Yes.
So get that if you're interested in the patterns they have. Again, Puma Matter is really, really good stuff.
Yeah, P-Corf, that's exactly right. I literally drank 40 ounces of water in a very short period of time and still was able to eat a ridiculous amount of food. It's the medicine. I actually talked to the doctor and we're working on something.
I saw somebody mention in the comments, time to hit the buffet.
Oh my God.
I'm not hating that idea.
You don't understand.
Excuse me for coughing into the microphone too. Like, it's brutal.
Yeah.
I need a mute button.
Oh, by the way, we have to do a little arrow cam. He's sleeping.
He is actually sleeping.
He's out cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's heard these rants before.
Yeah, he's sound asleep.
Wait,
40 ounces of Colt 45.
If she drank 40 ounces of Colt 45, she'd be dead.
I would be dead.
Because you don't drink at all.
No. Somebody was posting that, and there was a thread today that was like, do you ever like lose your taste for alcohol?
Yeah, it was after college for you.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it was.
David Hibbler said, love that dog. He's actually met the dog.
Oh, you have? Yeah.
Yeah. I got a little bit of a rant.
All right.
And it's not really one that I normally would share, but people like behind the scenes stuff.
No, this is a valid rant.
So every day we get emails or phone calls with, would you like to feature our product? And it could be a great golf tool that I'd never heard of. It could be apparel. It could be something else.
Yeah. Oh, this is your other rant.
Yeah. Oh, the other one's coming later. I
Yeah.
got a really good one coming later.
Yeah.
Well, today, between the hours of 10 and 10:04,
Yeah.
I received 4 emails, all different, all from the same PR company, with all saying, and I'm going to read it because I copy and pasted, but I pulled out some words. Hello, I read your website and think it's a perfect match for our product. Let me introduce ABC product. This matches your audience perfectly and they'll love to hear about it. And then it's like a pair of old lady flip-flops.
Yeah,
or medicine of some sort. I was like,
does the medicine help me not be hungry?
no, it doesn't.
Wow.
Stop the bullshit. You've never clicked on our website. And let me give people a little behind the scenes. They don't care about our review or anything else. It's simply an SEO play. And that's search engine optimization. People don't know. They're looking for us to make sure it includes a link to their website somewhere on our site. The more links that exist out there, the more higher ranking you're going to get in a Google algorithm. They don't care anything about anything that we're going to do or write or say. We could literally write, this flip-flop fell apart, blew up, and is a turd, as long as it includes the link at the bottom of their website.
It's so true.
Stop the effing bullshit. Stop doing it. Just tell the truth. Hey, we need SEO. I'm willing to pay for SEO, which nobody ever says that. I was just adding that part.
Right.
But can you please put a link somewhere on your website for us?
Yeah.
That's all they want.
Yeah.
So that's one of my rants today. The other one's coming up in a little bit.
Okay.
We have the Goat Cup coming up.
We do.
And that is not rant worthy because it is one of my favorite events.
I know.
It's so
and
much
the logo's
fun.
adorable.
It is. Shout out to JD Talks for that logo. The Goat Cup is with Callaway Golf, and it is centered around the love of golf.
Yes.
The greatest of all time being kind of a takeoff of it was first held at Ballyhack, and they have goats.
Yes.
And also being with Jason Finley, who I called was the goat of trash talking.
Well, he was, and he was kind of the goat of the Granddaddy.
Yeah.
You know, so
he is the goat of the Granddaddy. And we decided to start hosting this event as a way to kind of share the love of golf with THPers, but make it around golf balls and Callaway performance gear, which is Austin Tudor's category at Callaway. And last year was fantastic. And this year we're kind of upping the ante. We're going to Arbor Links, which is a really special place.
They've been so awesome to work with.
Yeah, they've been awesome.
Yeah.
You should tell people what we're eating. Like, you should give off the menu.
Oh, I have to go look at my email because I've been doing so many of them.
Yeah. If you like meat, it's going to be amazing. But I'm going
to go on while I'm doing that.
I'm going to tell people a little bit about the swag. We're not going to give away all of it, but one of the things that we're doing, there's the Goat Cup ring is right there. Well, you moved it. So
sorry. I figured they didn't want to watch me. They didn't want to watch me scrolling my emails.
Goat Cup ring is right there. That's the championship ring for the lucky winning team. But last year we did awesome Hyperlight bags for people, and they got to pick their color, and it came with the Goat Cup logo, which is awesome. It's the bag I actually use, and I'll talk a little bit about the Hyperlight Zero a little later in the show. This year's team, one of the swag pieces is a brand new golf bag, but here's the kicker. You're going to get a bag later on in the year that Austin's going to talk to you about at the Goat Cup. So you'll get some information before anybody else on the planet outside of Callaway. And then you're going to get to be some of the first people who get that gear later on in the year. So pretty exciting. I know that was funny watching me move my hand randomly in the air as she's changing the camera.
Sorry,
angle.
I can't find the email, but if I remember correctly.
Hang on.
Sorry.
So get excited. You're going to get awesome golf bags, and they'll be Goat Cup specific.
Yes.
And go from there. Now, the meals for this are incredible.
Yes. The first night, if I remember, is the steakhouse dinner.
Yes.
Yes. It's a steakhouse dinner.
And based on the cost, it really should be really, really good.
Yeah. And you get to choose between a couple of different steaks.
Yep.
And your typical kind of steakhouse size.
Yeah, twice baked potatoes.
Yeah,
the whole 9
exactly.
Yards. Yeah.
And then the second, because I always ask, like, what's your signature? Like, what are you known for? You know, because like that's obviously what
it was funny. We were sitting there in the office and we're like, what is the signature in Nebraska? It's gotta be beef.
I
right?
assumed beef. Yeah, because all I thought was Omaha steaks. that was just where my brain went.
We're not getting Omaha steaks.
No,
we're getting Piedmont.
Well, it's in Omaha, isn't it? So
sort of.
in theory, you're getting Omaha steaks. All right, I digress. Anyhow, the second night I asked them, they said barbecue. I was like, really? And he's like, oh yeah, like we're famous for our barbecue. I'm like, okay. So should I tell them the choice of meats they're getting? So you're gonna get a choice of baby back.
Is it choice or is it family style? I don't remember.
I thought it. Oh no, it is family style.
Yeah, so it's gonna have all of them.
Yes, it's gonna have all of them. Sorry, I had to choose between 5 meats, and I picked their top, like the 3 that were like the most popular. So it will be baby back ribs, their barbecue chicken, and brisket.
Brisket.
Yes, and then
somebody
like,
asked a question:
sides.
what if you don't eat meat? You would just tell us beforehand, and we'll make sure that there's something available.
Like that's the reason. Like most of it is meat, is because we were told no seafood.
Yeah.
So there actually, there is gonna be shrimp cocktail for the steak one.
Yeah.
But
if somebody's a vegetarian, obviously that's not a problem.
Yeah.
One of our hosts at Mizuno is a vegetarian. When we do events with them, we always make sure that there's plenty of options.
Yeah. If you have a food allergy or things like that, I mean,
but you have to tell us. You can't just show up and say, "Well, I'm a vegetarian. What can I eat?"
Yeah, because if you show up as like the gluten douche, like that's not gonna fly. You're
That's
gonna
a King of Queens reference.
Yeah,
For those that, actually, it's not a King of Queens reference. It's when we saw Kevin James stand up.
That's what it was. Yeah, he's really good in stand up, by the way.
Yeah, he is.
Live.
So Goat Cup bags.
Yeah,
it's awesome. There's a lot of other stuff going on with that event that we can't say yet, but it's coming up soon. So we will have a contest thread up on that also,
and whatever homemade dessert they have too.
Yes.
We
do a thing here called the THP Limited Series.
Yes,
and one of the hats you can kind of see down the line is this one right here that we did last year or the year before.
I think it was early last year.
This is a Travis Matthew hat, and we never do the same product twice.
No,
like when it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah,
and this one was one of the ones that sold out so fast.
Yeah,
it also happens to be my favorite hat.
I can tell.
Yeah, I know it's filthy. So, we decided we were going to have another Travis Matthew hat done.
Right.
Because that one was so popular, and
like
it
magic.
did. You want to put the camera on me so they can get a better view?
Sure.
Actually, no, it's not going to be a better view because
it won't.
Yeah, it's not going to focus. But yeah,
right.
So there's the new one. It is a charcoal with the red, and it's got limited series on there with the THP logo. It's awesome. And stay tuned. We'll have some information on when those are going to go up for sale. And when they're gone for good. And we will not be doing another one. No new color, no new anything. So if you want one, and they are limited, I cannot stress that enough.
Yes.
There's not 72 or 96 or any of that. It's very limited.
Yes.
So if you want one, you're going to want to get one the minute they go up. We will have a thread saying an exact date and time when they're available so people can come in and get them. And we might even be limiting one per person for this one because of how limited they are.
It's definitely not going to be this week.
No. Somebody asked, can they text a credit card? No. Social security number works though. Text that. We need your mother's maiden name and pet's name.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, and the street you grew up on.
Yeah, the street you grew up on.
Yeah, that's important.
I know there's a lot of people here waiting for the Granddaddy winner to be announced.
Yes.
And I'm going to make them wait a little longer. So got another THPR question.
Okay.
And somebody asked, General So or Kung Pao when you're going to a Chinese restaurant?
I assume this is for both of us.
Yeah, put it on you first.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you're more picky for this stuff.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. He jokes. I have weird rules about food, but I'm less picky of an eater than he is.
Neither one of us are picky at all.
We're not. No, we're not picky eaters, but I eat more food than you do. Not quantity. Well, right now, quantity, but in general, I eat more things than you do. Well, I eat vegetables. You eliminated an entire food group.
That's not a food group. That's, for rabbits, it is.
Okay.
But going back to this.
I think, again, this is my weird rule thing. It depends. Like if I'm like, okay, I'm feeling something fried, then I'm going to go, or General Tso's. But if I want something with some vegetables in it, and because it's not really fried, it's, wok fried.
Yeah.
To do like the Kung Pao, right? Was it Kung Pao?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I'm going Kung Pao. 90% of the time, I'm going to go Kung Pao over General Tso's. But every now and then, I'll go the other way.
So to me, it's restaurant.
This is also very
so
true.
If I'm going to your typical Chinese takeout,
yes,
it's going to be Kung Pao because General Tso's is generally like just clumps of fried chicken with a sauce,
sweet sauce.
Yeah,
sweet and spicy.
It's fine, but I prefer Kung Pao.
Yeah.
If it's going to the place we go to, 1/3 Asian, probably shouldn't have said that.
Definitely shouldn't have said that. Definitely shouldn't have said that.
I'll go General Tso's. It's all white meat. It's wok done. It's special.
Yeah.
No,
it's terrible. We've never been there. I've never heard of that place. Yeah.
But yeah, so it's very, very much specific on the place.
Yes.
But both are really good at that place too. So
Yeah.
I mean, really bad.
Terrible. Truly terrible. Weird hours.
Yeah, they're not
smells
open
in
for
there.
dinner.
I think they've been closed down by the Board of Health a couple times. Like, yeah, no good.
I wanted to talk. I mentioned earlier the Hyperlight Zero bag.
Yep.
And one of the features, like golf bags, I've gone on this rant before that everybody just buys golf bag based on price and color, and if they have a brand that matches, or they're like, I don't want to buy a branded bag, I want a Sun Mountain, which at one time their bags were really good. They haven't been good in like 3 years.
They have an identity crisis right now, it seems.
Yeah, it's because they sold to a private equity firm, and now it's about saving money. Anyway, the Hyperlight Zero bag, the top of it is different. It doesn't have that cloth that comes off or anything else. It's got this top. This is bad. I don't remember the name of the technology that they had.
Should take notes.
I know. I hope Austin's not listening. It's in our review. I've talked about it on the forum a number of times, but the top is different. And when you first look at it, you're like, okay, whatever. In the tech studio, which is that way, there are a lot of golf clubs.
Yes.
And they're in 5 or 6 different bags.
Yes, we need way more bags.
When you're pulling clubs out, no, it's not Silencer. Different brand. They rub.
Yeah.
And on the shaft, and we have a lot of really cool custom shafts, you start to see paint come off.
Yeah.
It sucks.
It does. It's really disappointing.
It's the worst when I pull out like this beautiful shaft that somebody made for us, and I'm like, oh shit, the green is coming off in a spot. This one doesn't do anything. It's perfect. They come out. There's never any collision. Shaft shield. No, that's not it. That's not it. I can't believe we have Granddaddy people in here and they don't know it.
Tuber overmold.
No. Anyway, these people are terrible.
Rubberized shaft shield.
Anyway.
Trademark.
Thank you. It does nothing. There's no rubbing. It protects the clubs.
Right.
I cannot recommend it enough. If you're in the market for a golf bag, do not sleep on the Hyperlight Zero. I saw it when I got the presentation, and I was like, yeah, okay, great. And I kind of didn't believe it. Like, you believe it because you do it, and you're like, okay, that's pretty awesome. And then you use it. And I'm one to stuff like 18, 19 clubs in the bags in there.
Yeah, you are.
There's 26 in one of those Hyperlight Zero bags, by the way. Pull it out. It's perfect. No rubbing, no nothing. So I cannot recommend it enough. I just wanted to say that.
Everybody keeps saying shaft shield.
It's shaft shield. That's what I said.
I just want to state for the record.
Oh, here we go. Who's the record?
They're the record. The audience.
Yeah.
This is what I deal with all the time. I say something. Yeah. See, Matt, you understand. I say something and you're like, that's not it. And then okay, fine. And then like 20 minutes later, you say, oh, it was blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I said.
That's never happened once.
Yeah.
In your old age, you're forgetting things.
Witnesses.
Wanted to get back to a THPR question.
Yep.
Somebody asked about Ballyhack.
Yep.
And I'm going out of order on what I had said.
That's okay. This one's on you.
So somebody asked why I like it so much and why I'm doing 3 things there this year.
Somebody said I'm an angel. They're so right.
My God, that you have them so snowed, it's absurd.
You can't even like see the halo.
There's no halo.
Oh, there's a halo.
There's devil horns.
Go on.
And the reason is there's a purity about Ballyhack that I've yet to find at any golf course I've ever been to. It's not my favorite golf course ever. It's not the best golf course I've ever played. It's not the hardest golf course, although it's really hard.
It's really hard that you said.
It's not the blast away golf course. There's a level of purity. When you're there, you feel like you're the only person on the golf course. The caddies are fun. They're not serious. Speaking of that, caddies at TPC Sawgrass, fucking terrible. Excuse my language. They are effing terrible. I was blown away by how terrible the caddies were that were at our event.
Bad,
terrible.
like
you're giving bad distances.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure our guy was stoned by the second hole behind a tree. Like,
that's possible.
Terrible. The ones at Ballyhack are amazing. Everything about it says pure and love of golf, and it's just something that I can't explain. But when I'm there, I feel like I fall in love with golf again.
Right. I think the goats help.
they do help a little bit.
No,
'cause they're
I know.
adorable.
I'm not actually making a joke.
Yeah,
I'm being serious.
They do. When you walk out your cottage and they're there and they're wagging their tail at you, and
Yeah,
everything, like
it's
there's just
serene.
something about bringing a love of golf back to me when I am there.
Right.
So that's the reason. We have back-to-back events there, and then I'm doing a content shoot there a month after that.
Yeah.
That I'm looking forward to. But it's a special place to me, and I'm excited we're bringing 2 events there this year. And that brings me to a rant I have.
Yeah, this is the valid rant.
Yeah. So we've shared with you guys that we are members of Dormi Network. We're not partners with Dormi Network. We're paying members just like any other company has a membership. And as they've gone through changes, some of them have been astronomically good. Some of them have been rough. Like the price hike earlier this year.
6 months into our membership.
Yeah, 6 months into our membership, increasing it by 25% was a lot.
Yes.
I mean, hundreds of thousands of dollars are spent there over the course of the year for us to host these things. And we're fine with that. And we're fine with what it is. But a wholesale change was one I struggled with.
Yeah.
And last week we got an email and it said, we're excited to announce that Grable, the new course coming next year, and Dormi Club,
which we do a lot with,
are now going to be separate. Now, it's all part of the Dormi Network. We're still members at all of them.
Right.
But they are going to a different model, and that is an all-inclusive model.
Right.
Meaning the food, drink, golf, cottage is one cost per person for us. That cost is very high, but not much different than it would be otherwise. Maybe a little more, but not much.
Right.
The problem is the meal planning, the special private dinners and all that stuff. That's all going away.
Yeah, which is a big part of our events.
Yeah. And
experiences.
It's fine if we're taking a small group of 4 people. It could be a great stop for that.
Yeah.
But if we're going from 8 to 12 to 16 people, it's virtually impossible for us to host an event at those 2 courses anymore.
Yeah. The only benefit for us would be if
I finalized price, we know exactly what it would cost.
Yeah, exactly. So if we had like a group with a ton of drinkers in it, we would know.
You mean THPers?
Well, if we had, let's just say we had a group that decided to hit the transfusions hard.
Yeah. Dax.
We would be like, okay, we already know what the price is going to be.
Right.
Versus if you don't know, then all of a sudden, what you budgeted for is now, $2,000 more.
Yeah.
Or higher even.
Well, and we've had that.
And we've
had a group where we budget a certain amount and we've been pretty transparent about it. It's about $5,000 a foursome.
Yeah.
Not including some cottage activities,
right.
But that's about right. So when you budget for that and all of a sudden it comes in and it's $2,000 more,
and it's happened.
It has. And you got to kind of pay attention to that and kind of adjust budgets accordingly.
Yeah.
All part of our lives, and we don't really share that stuff, but it's part of it.
Yeah.
When you don't have that, it's a fixed cost. The problem is that fixed cost is very high.
Yes, exactly. And then when you do have groups where there aren't drinkers all of a sudden, because then it kind of evens itself out throughout the year. So that's how you can kind of,
that's
cost
exactly
average.
Right.
Yeah. You sort of cost average throughout the year. But when you don't have that and it's all just super high, that becomes a problem.
And that becomes a thing where some of these aren't, we just can't, we simply can't host the all-inclusive.
Right. And it also takes away from the experience and the fact, like we talked about the grand dinners and things of that nature. Like that doesn't,
people
happen.
don't need us to have hamburgers and hot dogs and go play a bunch of golf.
No,
they don't.
No,
that's not what our events are about.
No.
And listen, if they want to do that, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they do need us for the hot honey pizza though.
They do, but they really don't.
No,
what we provide is access to a golf industry, an incredible golf course, organization, equipment. That's what this is all about.
Yeah.
And having these special private meals with the person that you're playing the clubs or golf balls or accessories from.
Right. Exactly.
Not being able to do that at those 2 facilities is tough. And if Dormi Network ever wants my feedback on it, I'm against it completely, or go to that as an entire business model.
Right. Or give the option.
Yeah.
Do you want to do an all-inclusive stay or do you want to do a pay per whatever stay?
And I think part of this is about those courses seem to get the most play.
I'm sure.
and maybe that's a benefit to them. I know that they're expecting Grable to get a ton of play, and it will, being new.
Yeah, and
it's
I know
also really freaking far from the airport. So
I know, what was the
like 3 hours, 4 hours.
Crazy.
So it's something that we have to take into consideration when it comes to the cost, because our THP experiences cost $500-$600 a person.
Yeah,
but that's not our cost.
No.
Our cost is 4 times that per person, generally speaking.
Yeah. And I know we've talked about this before, but if anyone wonders why we're always looking up, we're trying to read the comments.
The comments are there.
Yeah, for those who are watching.
Yeah, so just something we wanted to share. That's a rant that really got to me, because you're talking about 2 major price changes in less than 8 months as a member, and that's hard to swallow.
Yeah.
We have a commitment to them and to our audience that we want to continue there.
Yeah, and for the most part, as far as like the customer service and such,
unreal.
Right.
Unreal. Our planning of the Goat Cup, which was pretty intensive, is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like, it is down to a T. Everything is going on as planned.
Yeah.
And we're planning the dinners literally right now for the data experience and the budget championship.
Yes.
Both of those are being done right this second. Literally have an email waiting for us when we finish the show.
Yes.
So that's kind of my rant, and I don't know. I don't know where it takes us moving forward. But those 2 things are hard to swallow, 6 months into our membership.
Yeah.
We have a weird question, and we're going to ask you guys, because I think I got to everything else in the show.
Sort of fits with my theme for the day.
We have no kitchen.
No.
We won't have a kitchen until next week. What should we have for dinner?
Yeah, what should
we want to ask people in the chat. It's got to be within a golf course drive or golf cart drive.
Yes.
So we don't need you to name restaurants.
No.
We need you to name type of food.
Yes.
Mexican, seafood, Chinese food, or Japanese food, I guess it would be. All these things. Like, what should we have? What are you thinking?
I kind of want that wrap again.
The ahi tuna wrap?
Yeah, I had an ahi tuna wrap yesterday with.
We don't have a Burger King within the.
No, it was like a chopped salad with an raw ahi tuna, and then like a vinaigrette, all in a wrap with some feta cheese. It was delicious.
Yeah, I could do that. I had a crab cake burger.
Yeah, you did.
It was really good.
Yeah,
maybe we'll do that.
That was my I was trying.
It is Taco Tuesday. We have 2 Mexican restaurants here.
We do. I love quesos.
Do you really want Mexican food before your flight at 5 a.m.?
Oh, I'm not worried about that at all. Not at all.
They're giving us all kinds of suggestions, basically everything. We could choose anything in there.
For dinner.
Ryan Hawk said pho. We don't have a Vietnamese place here.
Not within
golf cart.
Yeah.
But thank you guys for joining us this week. But wait, there's one more thing.
Oh yeah.
Gotta.
Could we have signed off without doing that?
Oh no, it's highlighted on my screen.
Okay.
I wasn't gonna sign off.
Okay.
For those waiting, we wanted to say thank you to everybody who entered the contest. This contest, I went to last year's captain, David Hibbler. Mm-hmm. Well, it's now Hibbs. It's not David Hibbler on the show. I don't like that. He needs to.
I told him when I changed.
And he says he's been in a funk. And I want to say maybe it's the name change.
It probably is. Yeah. I warned him. I told him. I said I'm not happy about this.
You go back to the other name, which is the name in the chat, by the way.
Yeah.
Everything goes back to being awesome. Mm-hmm. So I went to him earlier this year. I said, I want you guys to be involved in the first contest. Go back to the chat and ask what they would like to do. Mm-hmm. As I could imagine, it turned into a shit show, I'm sure. But they came up, DRP, who I don't think he's tuned into this show, came up with a really good idea with the X marks the spot for Granddaddy X, number 10. And, he is. There he is right there. It's his contest idea. I saw that he was in the show. I just said he wasn't. So I thought it was a fun contest. Took a play on it, put it out there. Everybody entered. I thought it was pretty cool. And we're excited that we get to pick a winner. I did it last night. And at first, I didn't remember the person. Like, I didn't remember the entry.
Right.
Because the entries, the way it works is I don't have a person's name. It's a number. It's a post number. And this was 1048 for those keeping track at home. And I have to go back and I have to match that up. And I was like, oh, this person.
Right.
And then I said to you, and you're like, no, I call him a different name. But we'll get to that in a second. But congratulations to Brian's or Brian-S, whatever. I
knew it wasn't Brains, but it kind of read fast like Brains, but I knew it wasn't.
Yeah. But so Brian-S, you are the next person in the Granddaddy.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. We're excited for you. everyone's looking for 1048. That wasn't the post number. That was the number in the random number generator.
Oh, geez.
We're always going to give people the real name of the person here so they can actually celebrate.
Right.
But congrats. Your life is about to change. You have no idea what this is like.
Yeah, super happy for you.
We're super excited for you. If you are in a group chat coming up soon with the Granddaddy X team, and I'm hoping much more. I know he mentioned he's the ASCAP this year. I know he mentioned he was at work, so he was going to try to listen, but he couldn't really watch. If he's listening to this, tell your captain to get some lessons. He's a fucking mess on the golf course right now.
Oh, geez.
And he's got this fallback thing going on. Like, tell your captain to work on the game a little bit. We got a tech studio he can use.
That was rough.
Matt, if you're listening, let's get
He's
this.
listening. He's on.
Oh, let's get this straightened away.
That was rough.
Let's get you fixed. We're talking 8-6 situation is in play.
Oh, jeez.
So just want to let the audience know that their captain needs some work here. He's been vacationing at the beach a little too much, and we're going to get this all straightened away. We're going to get him fixed.
Okay.
We can't have an 8-6 situation again.
No, we really can't.
Not by a captain.
No.
And I want to say something else before we sign off. 8-6. Sorry. I know that Dax takes a lot of grief for 8-6, and he should.
Yes.
The next year had somebody go 10-8.
Yeah.
I don't know, JM something or other. He got fucking blasted. He got blasted on the course. I don't think he's been seen since. But he got demolished. It wasn't even close. I don't think he was within 2 shots on any hole.
Swing change?
Yeah, he was going through a swing change, I'm sure. So, and Maynard's leaving the chat. But no, so Matt's going to get it fixed.
Yeah.
He's going to give Jason a run for the money. I'm confident in that. He's got all year long golf. He's got this all straightened away, but he needs to get much more needs to get him in line.
All right.
Okay.
Sure, it'll happen.
Yeah. But yeah, you do have to quit after 10-8, or you shouldn't even get to play the rest of the course. If you lose all the holes leading up, you should have to stop.
Yeah.
But
that's
anyway,
when you start faking the injury.
Yeah, like
just start limping.
my knee is hurting.
Yeah, just start limping.
Thank you guys for tuning in.
Yes.
This was a fun show. We have a lot more coming next week because Morgan will be fresh off this 50th anniversary.
Yes.
And I will be fresh off a THP event.
Yes. So we can't do this until Thursday or
Friday.
Yes.
I'll get that information out there. But we are going to have a lot of fun next week. And just a teaser, we will have a contest coming up. Also, before I sign off course on Friday has an interview with you. When you see the title, you might be like, I'm not really that interested. Listen to the show.
Right.
It's with an apparel designer, and it's pretty freaking cool.
Yeah.
So listen to the show. For myself and Morgan, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week.
See ya.